Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mental Health Talk with yours truly. I am Christina McIntyre. I am running late. I apologize. A couple things got thrown off this morning, but we're here. We're back on track. I hope that y'all had a great week and had a great day so far. Remember that we can't change what happened yesterday. We only can focus on now and prepare for the future. So we have to learn to let things go and enjoy. This is the beginning of a new month, a fresh start. And every day we have time to get things in order, right? Make smaller goals so you can reach them larger goals. I think at times we put so much on ourselves that it backfires. So start small, and then that way you can tackle them each one. Once you make that small goal into a routine or a habit, then you can add on something else. Sometimes we think that we can do it all, and we can't do it all at once. Big changes don't happen overnight. Those bad habits that we have didn't happen overnight, so it's going to take some time. And be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, and know that as long as you're starting and staying consistent, you'll get to where you need to be. And remember that as we get into the warmer months, it'll lead into my topic. It's important to stay active and nourish for our bodies, right? A strong body makes a strong mind, and so we need to prepare for that. But enjoy the time that you have, especially our time is limited here on earth. We never know when our time is up, and so each day we got to find some type of peace in it, even during the chaos. This journey is not easy, especially dealing with mental health issues, but I'm telling you that it's worth it, right? You'll find once you start to figure out who you are and walk in your purpose and your destiny, everything else will fall into place. When you're aligned on the path that you're supposed to be on, doors will open for you. You'll be aligned with the right people that could put you into places that you need to be. Just trust in yourself. Have faith in God. Have faith in the universe that everything will work out in its favor. Everything is always in constant learning experience, right? Always do self-reflections, do self-meditations. I do this daily just to make sure I'm constantly trying to figure out who I need to be and where I need to be. And it's a struggle sometimes, right? Especially living in the world, people, places, things, some things that we can't control, it kind of could throw us off track. But knowing your plan, knowing that you have purpose, and knowing that it's okay to have setbacks, it's okay to sometimes regroup with yourself so that you could regain focus. Some things in life may throw us off, but as long as we stay consistent on the path that we are on, we will get to where we need to be. So, saying that to say, so today's topic is how important it is to stay active. And it's important because overall our bodies, right? A body in motion, stays in motion, and a body at rest stays in rest. If we're not active, our body gets stiff. Our muscle loses, I'm going to say this word, elasticity, if I'm saying it right. And after a while, it's hard to repair the damage that we do. And I know that with the busy life, it's sometimes hard to stay active consistently. But those small changes that I talk about will reap more benefits. And if you do have a busy life, there's ways that you can get around it. You just gotta figure out what's important to you. What can you do? And I think staying active is part of self-care. I know with me especially, it's important for me to stay active because it's not only good for my body, but it's also good for my mental space as well. Before I explain that, I'll get into something. So staying active promotes strong muscles and bones and improves your respiratory, your cardiovascular health, helps maintain a healthy weight, reduces type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and reduces risk for some cancer, high blood pressure, arthritis, and also is good for anxiety and depression, right? Being active releases chemicals in your brain that make you feel good, boosting your self-esteem and helping you concentrate as well as sleep and feel better. So staying active is not good just for physical, mental as well. I know for me personally, when I'm struggling and my mental health illness, when I exercise, I feel so much better afterwards. And not that it's going to make it so much better, but temporarily it will make that moment better, right? So for me, exercise or staying active is a part of my everyday life. It has been for the last 9 years, almost 10 years. I get up, I set time for myself every morning, and this sometimes can be a struggle, especially when you want to sleep in or you're having a lot of things to do. But for me, I make it a priority to take care of myself in the morning. I get up and I do a little bit of meditation. I write, and then I start working out. 30 minutes, 5 to 7 times a week. This week I took one day off, right? For me, it's important. One, I want to look good. I want to make sure that as I age, that I stay in the best shape that I can be. And do I struggle? Yes. Staying active is go hand in hand with kind of eating healthy as well. I struggle with eating healthy, but for the most part, I try to be consistent in my effort. I don't beat myself up if I decide that I want to eat something bad. And I just make sure I keep my body moving as much as possible. And also, it's important that you maintain a healthy weight as well, not just for your mental, but your physical. The more that you weigh and the weight that you carry on could be hard on your heart. Your heart has to work harder in order to support it, right? And it's not like body shaming or saying that everyone has to look the same. They don't, because by the doctor's measurements on that BMI, I'm supposed to weigh 169. So that's never going to happen. But for me to be at a comfortable weight where I'm not struggling to go upstairs, or I don't feel the pressure on my joints, and then I feel good in clothing, right? That's my overall thing is to do. I want to keep a strong heart, and I want to look good in clothes. And so for me, staying active is extremely important. And so I make it a part of my daily routine. 30 minutes, sometimes if I'm feeling great, every now and then I'll do an hour, right? But you don't have to do that. Find time throughout the day to stick it in your day, right? And if you can't do 30 minutes at once, you could break them up into smaller parts. But make sure that you add it to your day, like 5 days a week. That's all they recommend, right? 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And I know that if you're not used to exercise, it can be hard. You can start with walking. YouTube is great for all of that, right? YouTube has a lot of wonderful walking videos. One lady I follow, her name is Sydney Cummings, and she does a variety of exercise. Mr. London is also a person that I follow, that I do exercise routines. But I had to build myself up. I didn't just start off by just jumping right in. Years ago, I didn't exercise like that. I tried to, but it wasn't important as it is now for me. And it's vital for me, especially for my mental health, because I struggle. I feel good after I work out, even dealing with stuff, right? And once I work out, that gives me lifted boost of confidence that I know and I feel good that I did something right for my body. Even now, as the days are getting long, or the sun is staying out longer, get out and get some sunshine, because sunlight actually empower us, right? If you listen to my lives, I talk about the chakras, because that's what I deal with. I live that chakra everyday living is energies in our bodies, and then when they're out of balance, they cause physical illness, they cause mental illness. And so the sun is a power source for the solar plexus, which is our third chakra. And that when that's out of balance, it makes us feel like we don't have power or control. So sunlight is not only important for our physical health, but our mental health as well. And while it's warm outside, you feel better. When you take a walk in nature, it actually lifts your mood. Do like 15-20 minutes. I know sometimes after dinner people can't do that, but try to fit in some type of physical activity throughout your day. Always stay moving. And it's a shame you would think that you work every day and that would count as physical activity, and it is beneficial, but they recommend that you do 30 minutes of continuously, not extremely vigorous, but consistent activity each day. So again, start small. If you're not used to it, find something that you enjoy. When I began to start working out on a consistent basis, I started with Zumba on, back then it was Xbox Connect. I have no idea what it is now, but there are a variety of things. They have DVDs. They have, if you have cable, I'm pretty sure they have exercise channels. I do YouTube. It's just easier for me. And then every now and then I will go to my DVDs, but I make an effort. Like that 30 minutes, to me, that's self-care. Me waking up at 4 a.m., don't let it get past 4:30, but me waking up that early and giving myself time to get my thoughts together and to get my body in motion sets my tone for the day. They say how you start your day is how the day is going to be throughout, right? So you start your day on a good note, and making positive choices first thing in the morning will put that energy throughout the day, and that way you can have better days. And not that your day may not go that great. Like, we can't control the energy of the day, who we're going to run into, what triggers that we may have, but at least that's a fresh start. Like, we're giving ourselves a good start, right? And so even with that good start, when like just some chaos may come your way, you are better prepared for it. The things that we do to our body affects our mental health, right? Like not taking care of ourselves, right? Promote yourself, like have a good self-esteem and self-confidence. That's really important. But when we don't take care of our bodies, especially physically, it can affect everything else. Like when we are carrying around like extremely extra body weight, it puts pressure on our joints, right? A lot of people have knee issues and back issues. Ankles may hurt, and especially for people carrying extra weight around your midsection, is very bad for your heart. And so it's important to try to live the best lifestyle. I know it's hard to be active, especially if you got children, you're running a business, you're working all the time, but you have to take a more active approach in your health, and so that it doesn't affect your mental health, right? But also being active can boost your mental health as well. So they go hand in hand. I always tied our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual into ourselves, because I believe when all four of them are in sync, we can vibrate at our highest energy. So look over what are you doing for yourself, and how can you fit in some type of activity in your day. 30 minutes. And I know it seems like a lot when you're busy. For me, right now, I just started working again, and so I have to get up really early sometimes. And so I'm asking myself, how can I still fit in my self-care routine into now it's about to be an extremely active life. So for me, I have to go to bed when I have to go to bed. There's no more like scrolling. Like, a lot of times we waste time scrolling through social media, watching videos and stuff. So I have to cut that off. And if I gotta get 30 minutes earlier, I still make it an effort. I kind of force myself. And then I start preparing stuff the night before. Like, I get my clothes ready, just like we get to our children and get their clothes ready the night before. I get things in order the night before, so that some of that hassle in the morning is not there. So you have to plan accordingly if you want the best quality life possible. And overall, just feeling good. Staying active makes you feel better, right? It pumps you up. Like, I get like a lot of these I forgot what they call it, fitness trainers and stuff. Like, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to do this vigorous activity in order to be active, right? those people have trained for years and they do competitions, or they train in other people. You don't have to be that person, but you have to be kind to your body. We only have one body, and we have to give it the best that we can. Again, start small. If you're not used to no type of physical activity, start off with 15 minutes. YouTube has, I would say they have good walking videos, but I say while it's nice outside, get yourself outside, even if you're moving at a small pace, right, in the beginning. I follow someone on TikTok, and it's definitely an inspiration. This lady is was carrying a lot of extra weight, and she stayed consistent, and you can see her body changing with her consistency, even though people are sitting there calling her names and all that stuff. Like in the beginning, when you start making small changes, right, especially with food and lifestyle, people won't be supportive, right? You're trying to eat healthy, people in your face, you're trying to work out, or why you working out, you're going to hear these snide comments, but you got to do the best that's for you. You got to make choices that's best for you. So that you could be here, you can have the best quality of life while you on this earth. Like, again, we don't control when our last day on this earth would be, but we can control the quality of life that we have. And that's what I want for us. Like, it's important. Activity is important. One, because it kind of gives us power. When I'm working out, I feel such an empowerment. Like, I push myself beyond some levels sometimes, and then know your limits, right? I push myself sometimes, but I know my boundaries. I have a problem in my left knee, and I know when to push it. But for me, it's just relaxation. I feel empowered when I can complete a workout. And it doesn't have to be an indoor workout, outdoor workout. They have programs that you can join at the gym. And if you like working with out with people, that's great. For me, I used to belong to Pilates class. They have the variety of different activity that you can do to stay active, but make sure that you make that part of your routine. That is self-care, taking care of yourself, giving yourself that those minutes matter, right? And if you're not a morning person, because I prefer to work out in the morning, because I know it ain't never going to get done at night, and if I have to do it at night, it's going to be a struggle. If you like working out at night, if that's where you can fit it, do it wherever you can fit it in at, right? If you're at work during your lunch break, take a good 15 minutes, do something to boost your activity level in your life. Again, activity affects how we think, feel, and act as we cope with life. It reduces stress, right? Staying active can help reduce stress, and I know a lot of us carry around a lot of stress. And so doing these things can help that. So think about that as a point. If you are into group activity, it gets you to socialize with others, right? If you're looking to build a better support system or like motivation, I used to belong to a group, and I had a coach there, and she was definitely a good motivation. Having people around you that encourage you to stay on the right track definitely is vital, right? It helped me get to where I need to be. Yeah, I gained weight last year, and I'm trying to get back to where I was. And having that support can help you in the long run, because you're going to have those people in your corner and be like, oh, you're fine, you don't need to do nothing, but you know on the inside that you want to improve your quality of life. And so you have to have people, good supportive people around you that's going to motivate you, that keep you on your right track, because you're always going to have people, and sometimes people don't want you to get healthier because they don't want you to look, I guess, and feel the best that you can. They want you to stay where you're at so that they don't have to do something to change about themselves. So remember that you're going to have those people, the negative people. So don't pay attention to them. They may be jealous of you because they know where you're headed. Let's see. 1 in 4 people in the U.S. are not physically active. So that's a lot of people, right? It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's definitely a lot of people, right? Like, remember back in the day, before like all the social media and technology and stuff, people were more active. I think a lot. We, as a society, have let technology kind of step in the way of things. And so it's important that we go back to how things used to be. Remember when kids used to, just play outside all day. They don't do the fire hydrant no more. I remember when I was growing up, they used to have the fire hydrant out so people could, or children could play. So let's not only think about ourselves as adults of being active, but get our children active as well, right? Like they have, the children can get diseases from carrying too much weight. And no, you don't want to scold your child for being overweight, but just pay attention to their activity level. One, like being active can actually help, right? From like my son, he has asthma, and so being active kind of can help his asthma, but you got to be careful because sometimes activity can increase asthma symptoms. So it's important, right? If you have a illness as well, to do an activity that's not going to trigger it, but also activity and diet go hand in hand. So pay attention to what you're consuming so that it doesn't affect your physical part. Here, I'm gonna throw out some numbers, right? So the South had the highest count of less active people. The lowest was Colorado, and Asians are considered the most active. Latinos the least. 31% Latino, 30% African Americans, and 23% whites. Now I don't know. These are just numbers that I found, and some people don't report, other people report. And so we take that as an account, but we know our circle, we know who we are. So just look at the people that surround you. Sometimes you have to, if you want to do positive changes, you got to pay attention to your surroundings, right? What are some of the reasons people are not physically active? They're too tired, they don't have no time, no motivation, and you could also, if you're not motivated to work out, pay attention. It could be a sign of depression as well. When you're suffering from depression, it makes you not want to do anything. It makes you want to stay in the bed. It makes you want to overeat. It makes you not want to do anything. Throughout the year, I go through periods of depression, like deep depression, where it may last 3 weeks. The last one I had lasted like 3 weeks to a month. I still stay physically active, so it can help some. But you may be depressed for different reasons, and so you're not motivated to do anything. If you're depressed, why would you want to get up and exercise, right? So pay attention to those signs. And some people don't know how to exercise or get active. They feel ashamed for asking, so they don't get the help that they need. So I get it, right? You want to join a gym, but you don't want to ask questions, because I went to a gym a couple times and tried to ask how to use certain machines, because I was trying to strengthen certain parts of my bodies, and they basically just told me to read the picture on the machine. If I knew how to do it, like I'm a person that learns from watching someone else, and so I get that it's scary. Start at home. Like, to me, it's like kind of not like an excuse for staying active, because we have so many resources available. Start home. I exercise at home almost all the time, like, because it's just more convenient. It's hard, especially if you have a child, to try to get them to go to the gym or something like that. Excuse me real quick. And so this is how you can get started, right? Start small. Oh, dancing. So dancing is one of those things, right? I love to dance. I dance in the car. I dance at home, right? You gotta find something that's going to excite you. Dancing is fun. They have definitely a lot of programs that involve that. So find something. Do exercise if you're watching TV in between. Like, you can get up and walk. If you have the money to invest in a mini treadmill or exercise bike, you can do that. So in between commercials, join a gym. Find a class, do something that works for you. There are a variety of things that you can do to stay active. You just got to find something that fits you. Activities can boost your overall mood, right? life is hard as it is. It's a struggle, and it's a more struggle when you have mental health issues. But there's some things that you can do, right, that you can control. We can't control everything. I know maybe financially you want to join a gym, you can't. There's ways around it. If you're on Medicaid, you can go to the Y for free, right? There are a lot of benefits that you can get. You just have to do your research, and you just have to plan. Activity can help you with anger, frustration. Changes occur over time. If you're not used to physical activity, of course, getting started in the beginning, it's going to be tiring. Like for me, I noticed when I first got started, especially after I had my son, it was a struggle, and it got better. And then I realized at a certain point, my body was getting used to it. So the changes that I wanted to see, I had to up my activity level, right? I lift weights. And so after a while, they became too easy. So what did I have to do? I had to up my weights. So you start small, right? Start in the beginning, but you can get to where you want to be. And go easy on yourself, right? Don't so when you start getting staying active, and a lot of people, which I don't like, compare themselves to other people, because I did this, and I wish I knew what I knew now back then. Don't compare yourself or your body to someone else's, right? Your body is unique for a reason. It was created that way for a reason. And you can build the best body that you can, but you can't build it to look like someone else, right? You have certain curves, and you're shaped a certain way for a certain reason, and you got to fall in love with that. Like in the beginning, I lost weight just, I don't know, for a totally different reason. Once I started falling in love with myself and appreciating myself and my body for how it's shaped, right? Not comparing it, oh, I wish I had this and that. You can never build a body that's like someone else. You can build the best body that you can. And when you learn that, you'll focus on more of loving on yourself. You will focus more on the intention behind staying active. I like to work out. Like some days I don't. I want to look good in clothing, and I want to be able to love the body that I have. I struggled with the self-confidence and self-esteem issues for a very long time. And over the years, I have gotten better, and I learned to love the body that I have, and I'm creating the body that I want, but I'm creating in the parameters that I have, right? Like, I think a lot of times we're so focused on the wrong thing. Yeah, we want to look good, but we can't keep comparing ourselves to other people. We can't look like them, no matter how hard we try. We gotta love the body that we have now. And this is important too, right? If you don't love the body that you have now, you're not going to love the body that you're trying to create either. Self-confidence is within, right? And it starts within. Self-esteem starts within. And so you have to fall in love with yourself now. And I know that it's hard sometimes when you're in the mirror and you may not like what you see to love it, but love it anyway. Because it's important that as you stay active, your weight can go up and down, right? My weight goes up and down, and you cannot stop loving yourself because you're not a certain weight. So it's important that self-love stays with you throughout your journey, and encourage yourself. And when you do fall back, still encourage yourself. Like, journey through life is an amazing thing. Like, years ago, I would have got down on myself for gaining weight. And no one wants to gain weight after they got to where they needed to be, right? But I didn't down myself. I knew what I was doing, so I held myself accountable. When you begin this healthy lifestyle journey, especially with staying active, you got to be kind to yourself, knowing you're going to have fallbacks, right? You're going to slip back sometimes. It's a change, and it's a continuous change. You have to be consistent, though, on the journey if you want to be a healthier you. It's hard, I know, but make time, map out time for yourself each and every day. Staying active is part of having self-care, and a lot of us don't think of it that way, but it is. Self-care is not just having a glass of wine or a piece of cake, and it can be, but being active as well not only increases your mental health as well, but increases your chance of survival. It's giving you the best quality life that you have on this earth. And that's what I want to encourage people to do. Like, our time on this earth is very limited, and I want people to live the best and be the best and feel the best that they can. And it all starts with you, and it starts small. And remember, those small changes will reap better rewards. Staying active makes you just feel better about yourself. So do something every day that's going to energize you. If you're not a morning person, be an afternoon person, be a night person, but just fit activity into your life somehow so that you can reap the benefits of that. So to say that is basically all I wanted to talk about today, because I think it's important that as we struggle with mental health, there are certain things that we can do to help alleviate some of those struggles, right? And for me, staying active helps. Do I have down days? Yes, I struggle sometimes and behind closed door, but that activity, I always stay consistent with it, because for me, it's just a part of my everyday routine. But dealing with mental health, we don't know how each day goes, right? And then be kind to yourself. Don't try to do a whole bunch of stuff at once. When I need to take a break, I take a break. That's why I said I exercise 5 to 7 days a week, because some days I'll go hard and I'll do all 7, and then some weeks I'll do 5. But activity goes hand in hand with your diet and your lifestyle choice. So sit down with yourself and do one thing that can promote your physical activities, right? Like today, take some time and say, what can I do to be more active? Set your alarm 30 minutes earlier, right? Or if you're just starting off, 15 minutes. Give yourself enough time in the morning, or if you can't fit it in the morning, do it at night, but make it a priority. You have to make you a priority, even with the busy life. Sometimes I think we put things ahead and put those at most important, but you're the most important person, because if you're not giving yourself the best of things, you can't give others as well. You're going to be burnt out. You're going to lose yourself in the process. So always take care of yourself first, whatever that means. But remember that it starts with you. Plan accordingly. Write those goals down. Set goals every day that you reach. That way, that it's not a struggle each day to reach those goals, right? I like to plan every day. That way I don't lose myself in the process. So go out, enjoy this day, and make yourself a priority. Find a way to fit in physical activity and staying active each and every day. And sometimes we have to change what we're doing in order to do that. And remember, change is not always bad. Change can be good. And you'll never know what you can discover if you empower yourself. So fall in love with yourself so the world can fall in love with you. Till next time.